Hello and a happy Monday to you. I'm student meteorologist Tevin Wooten.
And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Bird.
Tyler, we had a fantastic day today. Temperatures were, way up there. The sun was shining. You didn't see a cloud in the sky. The birds were chirping.
Yeah, especially after the rainy day we had yesterday. It was really nice. Not humid at all. It was great.
I was a little worried I wasn't going to get to go outside yesterday before the Super Bowl because I knew that I would be trapped inside, past 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But got to go outside and enjoy it once the skies cleared up. And it didn't rain too much.
Yeah, just a little bit. I was outside as well.
Yeah.
And it rained on the tail end a little bit, but I was already heading inside by then.
Which we all need the rain, especially if you're a farmer or really anyone as we get into this season, the spring season, because we are in a drought right now, and that's not something we want to be in for too long. Especially here in Florida, we start talking about wildfires and crops can't grow and things like that. So,
yeah, lots of problems. So. Speaking of the big game, though.
The big game.
Did you watch?
I did watch the game. I watched more so. I'm a fan of the commercials and
Okay.
halftime. But the game was, it was a good game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
If you were an Eagles fan.
Sure, yeah. Condolences if you're rooting for the Patriots. But yeah, it had a little bit of everything. Lots of offense, late lead changes, that big turnover at the end. It was an exciting game. It was one really good for the fans.
A Cinderella story for the Philadelphia Eagles. A picture-perfect ending for them.
For sure.
The forecast for them, though, they're supposed to have their parade on Wednesday. They actually moved it because of several Clipper systems that are shooting way across the northern tier of the country, which would not make for a good parade, so they're going to move that to Thursday. Fun fact.
Wow, well, there you go. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about that later on in the show in the national forecast.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a Clipper system here in North Florida, but what will we have for our weather? We're going to head on out with this live look with student meteorologist Megan Berry. She's got more. Megan.
All right, thanks so much, guys. I'm here in the Science Courtyard right here outside of the Keene building. You can see behind us, it's a beautiful day. Warmed up very nicely today. Not a single cloud in the sky as well. Yesterday, your Super Bowl Sunday was a bit drizzly and cloudy, but started the work week off nice with some beautiful temperatures and skies. Secret study spot for us science students out here. We have a fountain, some benches, shade and sun, so whatever you're feeling. Actually, here walks up meteorologist Jake Carsons. Jake, so behind us we see the beautiful Science Courtyard with these trees. What can you tell us about that?
Well, right now you're not seeing too much. Obviously, it's fairly barren. We're still in the later part of the winter, but once we get into March and all the students leave for spring break, come back a week later, it's one of the coolest things you see on campus because the whole area, especially this one included, turns into this beautiful assortment of pinks, oranges, yellow flowers, anything that you can see. And we're starting to see some of the evidence of that now, considering the warmer temperatures that we've been experiencing. No more of those 20-degree nights, which is really welcome sight around here.
Yeah, gonna go pack up those sweaters. And as you can see, you and I do like pink, so those trees are gonna be our thing. All right, we're gonna send it back to the studio with you guys.
Thanks, guys. I'm getting some really good memories from being outside the physics building. But looking towards yesterday, I know some people were really happy with the turnout from the Super Bowl. Some were not, but something to be happy about was the temperatures for today. We're seeing a high of 74 degrees, low of 38. And looking towards our average, we're well above that for our average and also a little below for our low for today. Looking at the almanac. For current conditions, we're seeing here in Tallahassee 68 degrees, clear sky. You can definitely see that when you went outside. Completely beautiful blue sky when you're going to class today. Dew point 46 degrees, so it was fairly dry going outside today with winds coming from the north 5 miles per hour. Current temperatures around the Big Bend, we're seeing here in Tallahassee 68 degrees. Over by Wilma, a little bit more, 73, and a little bit near the coast, we're seeing cooler temperatures because the coast will bring in a little bit cooler temperatures due to the coast being there, moderating their temperatures a little bit throughout the day. Today's dew points, we're seeing 46 here in Tallahassee, Wilma 44, and they're not actual temperatures, they're just a way to gauge how humid it is outside, so seeing that it's in the mid-40s is a good thing, showing how dry it is. Over by the coast, we're seeing a little bit more moist because they're by the water. Taking a look over at our 24-hour dew point, you can really see how much drier we have gotten over the past 24 hours, minus 20 degrees. So that's only here in Tallahassee, even over by Quincy and Apalachicola, minus 14. So that'll continue going through today and into tomorrow. However, there might be some chances for rain going into tomorrow night. Checking in with the satellite and radar, you can see here a little bit of blue showing snow over here in the Midwest, but over by us, we can take a look over towards the Atlantic. All of what was left over the front is off, and those are the remnants. But for right now, we're seeing some high pressures, which will leave us with clear skies as well as drier conditions going from today and into tomorrow. And we can really see that with the satellite and radar going from this morning and going into a little bit before today and before the show. clear skies, and that's going to continue and persist into tomorrow. In current winds, we can really see the high pressure by the winds going a little bit clockwise, which is a good indication of that. And here in Tallahassee, we're having a northerly wind 5 miles per hour, Panama City 0, and Pensacola 7 with a southerly flow from the south. In tonight's forecast, we will see 44 degrees. We are having a warming trend going into the overnight hours. We will be a little bit warmer than we've been seeing for the past few days, possibly a few passing clouds with winds coming from the east 5 miles per hour. And tomorrow's outlook, we're going to be heating up a little bit more than we did today. We're seeing 72 degrees, mostly sunny, fair and dry conditions. So if you do have time tomorrow to go out and be active, I would definitely take advantage of that, because going in the next few days, there will be a possibility for rain, as well as possibly going into this weekend. So I'm actually going to pass it off to Brantley to take a look at the southeast.
All right, thank you, Alyssa. Now, as we take a broader look at the region here, we do see these clouds and a few pop-up thunderstorms there for southern Florida at the tip of that cold front that passed through for our area yesterday. Now we're just left here with some clear skies, as you can see here, and there's a few clouds starting to move in towards the western parts of the Gulf Coast due to that moisture out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Now our current temperatures 68 degrees, feeling very comfortable outside. We're seeing similar things around the region too. 66 in Orlando, 75 in Miami, 64 in New Orleans. And as you head farther north, we have temperatures dropping into the 50s or even the 40s for places like Huntsville at 43. Our current dew points are showing that there is much drier air, though, after that cold front moved through. Our dew point now 46 in Tallahassee, feeling pretty comfortable out there, a little bit on the dry side still. And then over in New Orleans, we have a dew point at 54. They are a little bit closer to the coast, so that's to be expected there with that Gulf moisture. And then places in Florida always have a little bit, and southern and central Florida always have a little bit higher dew points just because they're surrounded by water there from the Gulf and the Atlantic. Now, our 24-hour dew point change does show that the dew points have dropped, though, significantly. We're down 20 degrees from this time yesterday for the dew point, and 22 in Orlando, 27 in Savannah. That's one of the highest spots that we've seen. And on the other side of the region, it is starting to get a little bit more damp again in the air as the next system starts to move through. Now, we do have that moisture still, though, hanging around in South Florida with that cold front, and then that dry air indicated by this orange color moving across the northern Gulf Coast. And that's going to hang around today and tomorrow, and then tomorrow night we could see some more moisture move through. Here on the Futurecast radar, we're going to see that a few pop-up showers are possible on Tuesday and Tuesday night. And then on Wednesday, that's when we have another cold front coming through. So we do expect some more rain, especially as we move into the evening hours. We see here timing it out at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. A line of showers there starting to move through the panhandle. So late Wednesday night, we expect to see some rain, but luckily nothing severe. Is expected right now. So tonight's forecast, 45 degrees in Tallahassee, a little cool out there, so definitely have a light jacket if you're hanging out outside. 57 in New Orleans there, a little bit warmer along the coast. 46 in Montgomery, 41 in Atlanta, and as we head farther south after that cold front passes, we're really not going to cool down very much. 67 in Miami, 71 in Key West. Tomorrow's forecast, we're warming things back up just a little bit. 74 in Tallahassee, so you can probably wear your shorts and a t-shirt if you're going outside. 80 in Orlando, 78 in Tampa, 79 in Key West. So the Sunshine State will be mostly sunny as we have that high pressure sitting over us after that cold front passes through. And then places like New Orleans, Montgomery, they could start to see some rain as that next cold front starts to make its way eastward across the area. Now we're going to take it back over to the desk with Tevin and Alyssa.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Brantley. We appreciate that outlook on the local forecast and the national forecast, too. So today, do you know what today is? And it's not my birthday.
Today is National Weather Person
Ding, ding,
Day.
ding. Yes, that's correct. It was actually started a few years ago, but created for John Jeffries, who was a British-born scientist and physicist, but also a meteorologist. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday to Mr. Jeffries. But that is a little bit of history behind the National Weather Person's Day that we celebrate today.
Right.
So happy National Weather Person's Day.
Right, and we want to share a little bit with you guys who our favorite weather people are, and mine has to be Ginger Z. She has been my inspiration, one of my biggest inspirations through going through my program. because she's the first female chief meteorologist at ABC News, one of the largest networks, and we need more female meteorologists out there as chiefs, you know?
Oh yeah, she's certainly in a great position, and she's a fantastic meteorologist.
Right.
And a fantastic mom, too.
I know, and she's actually written a book, Chasing Helicity, which is geared towards children, and I love that she wants to try and get more kids into science, because we can never have too many scientists out there.
Oh, you can always use, we can always use an extra scientist. So I'll share one of my favorites. So two of my favorites. First, Liana Brackett, who I just met over the summer during my internship at the Weather Channel. So Liana, if you're watching, thank you so much for being an inspirational National Weather Person's Day. She's also a very powerful person. She worked for the National Weather Service in Seattle for 7 years, and then she converted to television. Welcome to the dark side. at the Weather Channel. Also, Greg D, a Florida State alumni, one of my favorite people ever. I actually met him back home in Arkansas, and he has been a mentor throughout my entire college career and into the next step in the next phase as a professional. So thanks, Greg and Liana. You
can never forget those people that influence you. For me, it's going to be Derek Kincaid, Mallory Schnell, and Elizabeth. Like, they have helped me grow so much, and especially since we're about to graduate.
I know.
It's crazy. We're about to be meteorologists ourselves.
We're going to depend on our mentors, but we also have to be mentors to other younger meteorologists too, as they grow up throughout the program.
And who knows, maybe one day we will be their idols.
Maybe one day you'll be at Good Morning America and I'll be at the Weather Channel.
I would not complain. I would definitely not complain.
Cool. We're not complaining about the weather either. We're going to go ahead and send things out to Jennifer. She's got to look at our local forecast. Jennifer, are you complaining about this forecast at all?
Not really, because it was a great way to start off the week. We currently right now here in Tallahassee are seeing temperatures staying fairly comfortable, about 68 degrees, and the dew points and humidity are making it feel fairly comfortable outside. When you walk outside, it doesn't feel miserably humid, and it doesn't feel fairly dry when you walk outside, and as well as the cool, nice calm breeze at about 5 miles per hour from the north. But since this morning, we certainly heated up throughout the day, 41 degrees since 7 a.m., but heated up, like I said, throughout much of the day to about 70 degrees at around 5 p.m., so temperatures were very comfortable. I know I went outside for a run and it felt very, very nice being able to go out. But currently right now, 68 degrees here in Tallahassee. We're seeing temperatures ranging in the mid to upper 60s, as well as some 70s on the map. 71 degrees in Wilma. They actually saw temperatures about 74 degrees this afternoon, so that was their high temperature. A bit cooler by the coast, about 59 degrees for Apalachicola, and about 60 degrees for Carabel as well. But the dew points are telling us the story about what it feels like when you walk outside, and it feels fairly comfortable when you walk outside. Not miserably humid and not very, very dry like what we've seen for the past week. Last week, about 44 degrees for Valdosta, 46 degrees here in Tallahassee, and a bit higher along the coast as they see some moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, 52 for Carabel and Apalachicola. So it feels fairly dry, but the rain that we got yesterday, it didn't really help much with our drought that we're seeing across much of the Big Bend region. We're still very, very dry for most of our northern counties. Not so much along the coast near Carabel and Apalachicola, because they do have, they are right next to the water, so it helps with the soil there, but still very dry conditions for much of our area. But clear skies for our area as well. Because of these lower dew points, we won't have much cloud cover going in throughout tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. But currently the winds are coming fairly calm for most of the region, tri-state area, about 9 miles per hour out in the northeast for Jacksonville. A nice cool breeze, about 5 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, but we see mainly this clockwise rotation, which is indicating that we're in a high pressure system, so it keeps the clouds at bay, and it makes our temperatures fairly comfortable, keeping it fairly warm. Tonight's forecast, about 44 degrees. It'll be a lot warmer than the past few nights as we're on a warming trend, but these clouds will also keep us from cooling down into the 30s as well, so that east wind about 5 miles per hour will keep us a bit warmer. But going into tomorrow, it'll be a picture-perfect day as well, kind of similar to what we saw throughout today. 72 degrees for Tallahassee. We're going to keep mostly sunny skies because of these lower dew points. We'll keep the dry conditions as well. And a north-northeast wind at about 5 miles per hour. But going in throughout the rest of the week, we'll see some rain chances, especially Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. But the temperatures are going to stay fairly comfortable. 72 degrees for Wednesday, 67 degrees for Thursday, and as well as Friday, about a 20% chance of rain, as well as temperature 69 degrees. Tell us what's going to happen in the National there, Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. So the National picture looks really, it's cold across the northern tier of the country. You saw the Super Bowl yesterday. It was really, really cold in Minneapolis this time yesterday, and it's not much warmer than it was. So 13 right now in Minneapolis. But the main story is it's cold across the northern tier of the country, and the southern tier right now is remaining dry, but that's going to change. It's going to become unsettled for the rest of the week, and that's a good thing as most of the southeast is in a drought right now. Now, the satellite in radar shows you this clipper system right here. It is giving some snow to the Great Lakes. Chicago is currently getting some snow right now, but nothing much in terms of snowfall amounts. Pretty usual for them. They should handle this pretty simply. The rest of the country is pretty clear as of right now. Now, the 24-hour temperature change shows you that right here in San Antonio and Dallas, it is much colder than it was this time yesterday. But just north of them in the Panhandle and in the Middle Plains, it is much warmer than this time yesterday. So that's going to continue, and it's going to move east for the next few days. Now, the dew points across the northern tier, it's very cold, and it's very dry air with 3-degree dew point in Minneapolis, 7 in Billings. Down towards the southern tier, you have higher dew points, so there's a little bit more moisture in the air. But that dew point in Miami of 66, it feels tropical even in February. Now, here we have some winter weather advisories for that clipper system across the Great Lakes. This blue right here is a winter storm watch, meaning that winter weather conditions are expected to arrive within the next 48 hours. And up here near the Canadian border, that's a wind chill advisory. So the wind chills are going to be very cold. You don't want to stay out for too long if you're up towards Fargo and International Falls. But for tonight, the northern tier of the country is remaining very, very cold with -7 in Minneapolis, 15 in Detroit. But the southern tier is remaining pretty mild and pretty average for this time of year with 56 in San Antonio. And out towards the west, pretty tranquil conditions with high pressure dominating with 53 in San Francisco and 55 in Phoenix. Tomorrow, the northern tier is still cold with 9 in Minneapolis. And now you'll see the next cold front starting to arrive. And this is a good thing for the southern tier of the country. We're expecting a lot of cold fronts to move throughout the southern tier over the next week. And that will try to put a little bit of a dent in terms of the drought across the southern tier of the country. But let's send it back to the desk where Brantley and Jennifer are standing by.
Thank you, Michael. Now we are going to continue talking about the National Weather Person's Day with a few of our inspirations.
Yeah, I'll start off with a few of mine. I actually am very inspired by Dylan Dreyer. She currently works for the Today Show as their meteorologist for most of the weekends also, and she also does other things like she's covering the Sochi Olympics right now.
Hey, that's really cool.
Yeah, and she also covers the Orange Room for them as well, but she is a mother and a wife, and she has so much, she manages to keep so much time open for working out, for spending time with her kids and with her kid, and it's just
it takes school. It takes skill to you know, stay cool and collected and keep your schedule there.
Just to make time for
especially for that. Now my inspiration is Alan Seals. He is an FSU alumni actually. He graduated from here with his master's degree. He got his bachelor's in meteorology at Cornell, and he's from my hometown station actually. I met him whenever I was 12 years old, and then I met him again here at FSU whenever he came here back for our for an alumni workshop, and he's the same person that I met, you know, 10 years ago. He still has the same personality. He does a lot of things too. He does a lot of outreach with the community. He goes out to area schools, and he is also a teacher too. So he does broadcast stuff 5 days a week, and he teaches at the University of South Alabama, broadcast meteorology there. And surprisingly, he, or this is a new thing for this year, he is also the president of the National Weather Association for this year. So he's doing all sorts of things.
I remember when he came actually at FSU for our big meeting. He seemed like one of the coolest weather people. And another one that I have is Lee Spann. She's the local meteorologist I grew up with. I watched her throughout middle school and high school. She kind of inspired me to go into meteorology, and she works at WFLA in Tampa. So she wakes up in the morning at about 1 a.m. to go in for a shift at 2 a.m. and she only drinks a cup of coffee.
That's it.
That's it for the entire day. I mean, and I met her this summer. I had an internship at WFLA, and just meeting her and the entire team there, it was just so inspiring.
Yeah, a lot of times local broadcasters don't realize the impact that they have on people that go into this field later on. Everyone that's in broadcast now usually has a role model from their hometown or from like a local station from where they've lived at too.
Yeah, we're actually going to take things out for a local look with Tyler.
Thanks, guys. So I don't know what the rest of the state, or at least South Florida, is doing right now, but here in Tallahassee, we remembered that we're the sunshine state. So the sun is out and shining right now, 68 degrees, 60 in Pensacola, also sunny. But as you move throughout the rest of the state, you can see Tampa, 71, but cloudy. West Palm Beach, Miami, both cloudy, 75 and 72 respectively. And then down in Key West, 77 also is clouds. So they're getting a lot of that moisture and humidity that we saw yesterday. As that moves through the state, that's hitting them right now. Well, the dry air that follows that is here in our area. There it goes. So, like I was just talking about, current dew points are pretty low up here in North Florida. 46 in Tallahassee, 48 in Pensacola, 48 in Jacksonville. Keep in mind that the lower the dew point is, the less humid it's going to feel outside. So as you move throughout the rest of the state, you can see those dew points rising. 60 in Tampa, 64 in Fort Myers, 62 in West Palm Beach, 66 in Miami, and a very stifling 72 in Key West. And you can see all this green color. That's all that humidity and moisture that the rest of the state is getting. But if you look up here, you can see this tan and yellow coloring. That's a lot of dry air. So that's what we're getting here as that begins to move down into our area. Water vapor, again, look at all this green. That's all that moisture, that rain that we were seeing yesterday here throughout the rest of the state. And if you see this orange up here, this orange line that's moving across our area, that's that dry air. That's why we really didn't have many clouds outside today. It was a really nice day out for us. So expect that to kind of keep moving across the state as we keep having clear skies here. Current winds mainly coming out of the northwest, straight out of the north pretty much here in Tallahassee at 5 miles per hour. Pensacola doing something different, winds out of the south at 7 miles per hour. But as we move east of us, Jacksonville, northwest at 9 miles per hour. Orlando coming out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. West Palm Beach, 9 miles per hour. Miami, 12 miles per hour. So lots of winds that are coming out of the northwest throughout the entirety of the state. Tonight's forecast, things are going to get a little bit cooler. It's going to get down to 45 degrees here in Tallahassee. Bit warmer in Pensacola, where they're going to only get down to 50, but still pretty cool. Jacksonville all the way down to 42. As we move down through the state, temperatures will be a little bit higher than what we're seeing in North Florida. 55 in Orlando and 58 in Tampa, and 64 in West Palm Beach, 67 in Miami, all the way up at 71 in Key West. So South Florida is pretty warm right now. And looking ahead to Tuesday's forecast, you can see here in Tallahassee, those clear skies might not stick around. You can see we're going to get some clouds, but it's only going to be at 74 degrees, so not too hot, not too cold, but a little warmer. 71 in Pensacola and cloudy, 72 in Jacksonville, Orlando, and throughout the rest of the state, it's going to be high 70s to 80s. But for right now, I'm going to give it to Tevin, who's going to give us a look at some more in-depth weather in our local area.
All right, thanks so much, Tyler. We are seeing this abnormal pattern that's a little bit above average. So like currently right now, we're at 68 degrees. The high today was 71. We are usually seeing highs around 66, the mid-60s with lows in the upper 30s. So we are well above average, and it looks like we'll stay that way for another day or so before we start to cool down with some rain coming into our forecast midweek, though. But look at these dew points. Very pleasant outside, 46-degree dew points. The winds are out of the north. It is not muggy outside at all. So get out and enjoy this weather while you can. Current conditions across the entire tri-state area. 65 in Dothan, Alabama, and Albany, Georgia. I almost said New York, but it is not 65 in New York. It's probably about 15 degrees in New York right now. Panama City at 60 degrees, and so is Pensacola. Valdosta at 62. The dew points, everyone in the lower to mid 40s, 44 for Valdosta, 42 for Albany, 45 for Dothan. Montgomery, Alabama, dry at 40-degree dew points and 27-degree dew points in Macon, Georgia. So that's a look at the measure of moisture that's starting to advect into the Big Bend region. So we should be dry tomorrow, but we do have a sort of a moist forecast coming into the area as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Current winds light and variable across the area. Not too much out there, so if you girls going outside tonight, don't have to worry about the frizzy hair at all because it's not muggy outside and the winds are not picking up. We are going to look and turn our attention to this zonal flow. We've got these short waves embedded in the zonal flow pattern, so these clipper systems are really just moving across the northern tier of the country, dropping down snow, maybe 4 to 6 inches of snow. Of course, you can always get more snow along the Great Lakes region. So, but as for us here near Pensacola, Tallahassee, and along I-10, we're not even seeing a cloud in the sky, just mostly dry skies for the satellite and radar, and that will be the bigger picture for us as we go throughout the next day to day and a half. Again, before we do see rain chances back in the forecast. Tonight's forecast, a little bit warmer than last night. Temperatures at 44 degrees tonight with a few passing clouds. Winds out of the east at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Folks, it will be a pleasant forecast tonight and tomorrow. If you have any sort of plans, if you want to study, move it outdoors. You don't have to worry about any, again, mugginess in the air. It won't be too dew point-y, as we like to call it here at FSU Weather. Tomorrow's forecast, 72 and sunny skies. Mostly dry skies again tomorrow. We might start to see those cloud coverage increase as we go throughout the midday Tuesday into the evening and overnight hours because we do have rain in the forecast. So that's in your 7-day forecast. Let's go ahead and break that down for you. 72 is the high on Tuesday. 72 will be the high on Wednesday. But again, Tuesday into Wednesday, that's when we see rain chances increase, especially by Thursday. We've got a 40% chance of rain showers. The high that day, 67 degrees. It will be muggy with temperatures, the low temperatures at about 58 degrees into the lower 60s. By Friday, we do dry out going into the weekend, but they are back in the forecast. You guys at the desk, what do you think about that? Jennifer, Michael?
I don't know how I feel about the wetter weather going into this next
I
week.
actually really enjoy that wetter weather.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, because Sunday we did get about a 3/4 of an inch of rain in Tallahassee.
Thanks.
We do really need that rain. As I said, the southern tier of the U.S. is in a drought, and we definitely need to get some rain to get out of this drought, especially with the summer months coming.
Yeah, I think we definitely need a little bit more rainfall action, especially going in throughout the next few weeks, because conditions are fairly dry. I know I went out to a lake this weekend, and the lake bed was kind of
it's getting low.
The water levels were a little bit lower in the lake, so we kind of need a little bit more.
Yeah, even golf courses, the grass is getting a little dry. You can tell it's not very wet out there. But the rain will help with that. The more rain we get, as you can see by the 7-day, it will really help out with this drought.
Yeah,
because
going into Wednesday, we'll have a 20% chance of rain, mainly in the morning, the afternoon, mainly in the morning for Wednesday. But Thursday is going to be a little bit higher rain chance, about 40% for Thursday, as well as a slight rain chance for Friday, about 20%. But temperatures are feeling pretty comfortable.
Those lows are really nice, and those highs are pretty comfortable for the time of year. And don't forget, Wednesday is our big game against Virginia, so the weather may be a little bit unsettled, but I think the student tickets are already sold out now, so it's a big game on Wednesday for us. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And you can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU Weather. We post our social media updates on there. And also watch us live on YouTube anytime, youtube.com/FSU Weather.
And don't forget about our Instagram @FSU Weather for all those great pictures around Tallahassee, South Georgia, South Alabama, North Florida. So for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Michael Anand.
And I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll see you here tomorrow.